Yo, welcome guys to Elite Esports. We are doing a little bit behind the scenes. So we currently own a DayZ server that has only recently started. We're talking like 2 weeks. Actually, that's a lie. We've had it for about 4 weeks. We had it out for 2 weeks before the 1.12 update happened, and we was mainly just testing mods, seeing how the server run, and mainly getting our heads around behind the scenes of how DayZ operates from a server owner point of view. Anyway, 1.12 update happened. We all know what happened there. I'm not going to go into details. But one of the mods I use and we use for building is this DayZ Editor. It's newish. They've been doing a lot of fixes and improvements. It has been known to crash several times, so it might crash during the stream, so I can only apologize. But it's what we use really to go behind the scenes now and have a look at how we do building. Now, I've loaded a couple of mods and I might need to load a couple more. But the objective of today is we currently have our black market trader, so our trader that has the high tier loot situated over here at the moment. Now, my objective is now to move it and find a new location. I've got a few places in mind that I'm thinking. I'm not sure whether I want to maybe do it over by the swamp. There's also a military base in the swamp as well, and we are using Deer Isle or maybe Old Town. What I'm thinking is I might use this area here because if we come over to this area, and for those who haven't used this before, a couple of key things you need to learn. You can look at the map at any given time. You can click the middle mouse button and it will move your camera. Also, you can see I've got my mouse button here so I can interact with the side panels and I can load things in. And this is where I'm going to search for the objects that I want on this top side. And on this right hand side, obviously, will be the objects that have been loaded. And you'll see this will start to populate as we go through this build. To get back into the game and move the camera around, all you need to do is press the space bar, and then that will allow me to use the WASD, and I can use this to manipulate and move up and down, and then obviously Q and Z do an up and down pitch fork if I need to. And this comes in handy when we're looking at making locations. I can hear Cuzzy back. What up, Cuzzy? He's not there because he's creeping in the background. Right, so this is one of my locations I'm thinking of. It's nice and flat. It's easy quite to install some shops and bits and pieces here. I've got a real simple shop that I want to try and install, I'm thinking, and I might even put a couple more shops in the black market so we can buy things like consumer goods or limited consumer goods. I'm not sure at the moment. This is not a bad location. There's another location a little bit further in mind, and that's a little bit further around the swamp. But we see here at the end of this road, we have a hunting shack, which is a not too bad location. And the traders we use at the moment are vending machines traders. So again, it's kind of a prime location for me. It's out of the way enough that people need to figure out where it is. There's quite a bit of swamp area they need to work their way around. They can also store their cars in while they are, I suppose, in the trader. There is no safe zone for the black market, so it's quite a high risk area. Positioning wise, I know we got some teams in and around this area, so they're going to really benefit from the black market being nice and close to them. But on the flip side, it's also going to drive a lot more traffic to this location, so their bases will be more vulnerable. That we might find that they are going to have difficulties with players and a lot more footfall coming into their area. The only other place I was thinking is maybe Old Town up in this top left corner. Not too bad. It's finished area now. The developers have finished it, whereas before it wasn't. It has a nice big wall all the way around it as well. It's like this sort of apocalypto DayZ camp. It has got a few gaps in the walls, but it goes around it nicely. Obviously, they've not finished off the road there, but it's industrial site also. The other temptation would be to put it in here. I'm trying to think of areas where people can't land helicopters, they can't drive to very easily. And this might be a good area that we can populate him in one of the police stations that are here, for example, or we can populate the trader in and around one of these outskirt buildings or industrial buildings so people can drive, but maybe not be able to land the helicopter. Not a bad location. Currently, though, on this side of the map, we do have our drug dealer, and our drug dealer is situated in one of the islands in and around by Deepwater. We have nothing up at Portland at the moment, so that did go into my thought process of trying to build up in Portland. But I'm thinking about making a pelt trader for anyone that's hunting any of the animals. down this sort of southeast corner of all these little these this is where the players will spawn in. So don't really want to be putting a black market there. It's too easy to get to. And then we have a helicopter drag down the south side. So the logic for me is going to be middle area. Yeah, it's definitely going to be middle area. There's any buildings out by over here. Look at the racetrack. Nice big church here. Most people can land. A couple of towns by the racetrack as well. Military camp. The new buildings. Bit of the top shack here. Pretty sure this is the last set of buildings now. Before you get around to Portland, there's nothing else around here. There's not even a hunting village or anything that I could put him out to. Be awful, especially if you get camped out there. So you really need to have a thought of where and what we're going to do. I'm going to stick with my original idea. I'm going to pop him. I think I'm going to pop him here. Actually, you know what? Look at how flat the land is here. Okay, so first things first, we want to hit spacebar. So we come out of this, so we bring up the mouse, and now we can type in. Now we're using the vending machine, so if I just type black market, we get this crypto black market. Then we can drag and drop, left click and hold, and I'll be able to move and place this item wherever I want it to be. Now, obviously, we are to slow your camera down, Control Shift and T. Then you can bring your camera right down. It's something I prefer to do because I like to get really detailed of where the item placements are going to be. Might actually bring him in here. Cool. So I've kind of got him in the area that I want to work on, and now we can work on the exact placement of this. So double click and brings up the editing properties. Now we've got the X, Y, and Z axes. So I just want to figure out by using the scroll where this black market trailer is going. Now that's kind of where I want it to be, but as you can see, it's falling through the wall here. So you can actually manually type some of these numbers in, and we can find a place. Let's go 7, where not quite on the wall, but it is close enough, and then we can 8, 9. Obviously now as they drive down the road and put up, they should be able to see the black market trader. Now, always word to the wise, whenever you place an object, what I always suggest you do is hit the save button. I call it black market because it is a mod which is being developed still. What is this? No tournament. This is me building on the server, Matt. And we have a DayZ server we have players jumping in and onto. Just currently going through like the build for the server. Then we've got loads of like static objects in which I can place. So we can have a look at static objects. I always like putting things like donation bins in. You expect people to dump things in, or most importantly, the old trash cans, because people might want to throw items away here. Here we go, and let's bring that forward slightly. And as you can see, this is not on the ground by any means. Let's go 5, 4, 5, back. in the corner. Nice little addition, actually, the trash cans. Because anyone who doesn't want an item anymore, they can just throw it in here. And it will actually destroy it. It will take it off the server. Very smart person who made this mod. As you can obviously see on the left hand side, on the right hand side, sorry, it's now starting to stack up with items. Watch, my Discord is talking too much. Now, what I do like to add in are things. Now, obviously, things to note as well, guys, that not all your items or your mods will be able to be pulled into this. There are quite a number of mods that don't work in this, but you also have to factor in that they are items which people can interact with, and the actual mod itself won't determine that it's a static item, as we call it. 5 3 9. With my OCD massively. Any presents? Yeah, so if I was to put any of this stuff down, people will be able to pick it up. And every time it gets re-picked up, it will reappear again. Cool. Next one done. Get some wooden containers in here as well. Certain items as well, we can Control C, which is copy. One item's been copied, and wherever I point my mouse, I can right click, and as you can see, it will also place the item. So when we're starting to build things like walls, or we're trying to stack areas up, where we're trying to fill things up with boxes on the mass, you can do this a lot more easy. And a couple of things as well, which to note as well, we can apply physics, so things will drop to the ground. If things are through the ground or below the ground, they might ping up or down, but it's not a bad thing when want to make sure that it sits flush. I don't want to take away the experience from anybody when playing. Bunkers, don't need bunkers just yet. Don't need a boxing ring. I want to ensure is actually people can't cut their cards in here. I want to make it look like it is messy, so he's had to move all this stuff quite quickly. again, obviously spacebar is to move out, stack some items on top of each other. Oh, make sure it's all round. One here. Let's have a look at what's I got. Tables maybe. Someone picnic benches. Fucking a broken table. What I'm trying to do is stop a vehicle from coming down. Table's gone in the floor. Doesn't really matter. What I need to do is I need to mute the PUBG Discord. That's Hobbs. Medical tables. What else do you want to put in here? Don't need any of this. Don't need any gear. Don't need any patches. Content. I don't know if I've got any display stuff. Haven't. I do have storefronts. I'm streaming, bro. Yeah. No, I was off at that point. No, mate, no, not at all. Trying to think what I came on and done. I've not touched. No, I was on for a little bit, but I didn't know. I was just on. Does that make sense? I was on PUBG when I on pubbers. Building the new black market trader. One, two. Got a backup here if you need it. one else has access to it, mate. That's the only thing. Don't need military crates. What is this? Trash. Balloon crates. No, no, no. Crash barriers. No. I want to apply some physics here. Watch this drop. Damn it. Depends, mate, really. I can't even remember what I came on and done yesterday, mate, if I'm honest with you. What's at the bottom of the list? What's that? What's below it? Then that wasn't at the bottom for me, by the way. That wasn't, no. Yeah, no worries, mate. I'll be. If you're in my little black market stream. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, it wouldn't just do that, mate. If you download it, mate, and then is there an error? Is there a missing line? Don't need water barrels. Don't need that. It's not static items. Do I put a donation bin in the black market? I can't talk too much about it, mate. I can't talk. Honestly, I'm live streaming, bro. Do I put a donation? Do I put a donation box in the fucking black market? Not worth it, is it? I'm gonna put a gun donation bin here. Someone might leave it for someone. So butchers. Cool. Right, that is a mess, but that is kind of what I want to do. Okay, cool. So now what we need to do is we're going to need to save this. One of the things that I found really hard when I was trying to look on videos online is the how to export and how do you work on. So obviously these are items here. These are all static items. That's fine. Got no issue with that. I just wanted to make a bit of a mess in here, which is okay. Happy with that's in the floor. Happy with everything else on the ground. I'm happy with our black market trader donation bin and recycling bin. But what we want this is we want the black market to be interactable. Now, a couple of things. If you are using the DayZ Editor, you need to load the DayZ loader onto your PC. It is the easiest way to upload it, guys, honestly. What you would tend to do then is you'll go File, Export, and then to Terrain Builder. Oh, before you actually do that, sorry. I made a mistake first time. Highlight everything. So everything's highlighted. So I just clicked on here, Control and A. File, Export, Terrain Builder. I'm going to recall this to black market. Okay, export selected objects. Yes. Okay, 15 objects have exported. I am happy that now has done. I can come out the program, and now what I can go do is I can now go work on visual code. So let me just pop that there for a second. You can watch my replay from the other day of PUBG, and let me let me add in here. Hold on. Open up visual code. What I use. Perfect. And I'll bring panel here. So let me just reduce it down so you can see that I'm on a wide screen. So apologies, guys. We do these one at a time. Okay, so Visual Studio Code. This is what I use. Obviously, this is my types file, bits and pieces. Now I've just downloaded that. So to find what you're looking for, you need to go to run. You need to type in local app data and then /DayZ. Don't forget to put the quotas in the /. Hit OK. That will then open up your file explorer. And what you're going to find now, if it's the first one you've done, you're going to see that you're going to have an editor box here. Now, these are all my DayZ files, so to speak. And I've got a new black market trader, which is today's date, the 9th, which is these two here. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to have a look at the document, which is I want to find out some information. And also I've got a text file and I've got the DayZ. Now with Studio Editor, I can literally drag and drop it and it will pull to the top side, which is wonderful. And then this is going to give me all the information that I'm going to need to put into the types file, but into the trader file, because what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to figure out exactly where the trader is, okay, and what the orientation of the trader is. So when someone goes to it, they can interact with the trader. So I'm going to need this. I'm going to put this to one side at the moment, but I am going to need to come back to that. What you want to do now is obviously I use GTX. When I come down to your profile, and you can see there's a DayZ Editor files. Now I've got a couple of custom locations. What I want to do now is I want to overwrite my current location, which is the black market. I'm going to copy this over, and then just to check that it's uploaded, I can click on uploads. I can see that black market DZE has uploaded, so I know that it is rewritten over this file here. Fantastic, happy days. We now need to go in and do the trader config, as I mentioned before. So underneath the trader, we're going to have a couple of files: trader config, trader objects. Now what we are technically entering into is the trader objects file. So currently my black market trader, the orientation is going to be slightly different than what we are going to see on my visual code. As you can see here on the right hand side, we've got a different type. So what we need to do is we need to come back into this now, and we are going to need to overwrite where our black market trader is. Now I don't want to go into too much detail, because I would assume you guys know in a lot more detail what numbers and what trader numbers you've got. There are hundreds of videos online. If not, just drop me a comment, drop a comment below, and I'll be more than happy to explain some of the other elements to why the black market trader is labeled 7, etc. It's all to do with what the objects they spawn in. And most importantly, I want the trader marker safe zone to be 0, whereas you'll see on some of my other ones, they will have a 80 or whatever. So as players approach the trader, they're going to get a hey, you're in a safe zone, you can't use your weapon, it will disable your weapon. So there's one part, the black market. Now I need to look at the black market object spawn. Now I'm using the crypto black market vendor machines, hence why we've got this NPC dummy. If you're using a actual AI player, that's okay. You won't see this object attachment. That's totally fine. But again, what you need to ensure is you need to go over. I need to update my positioning. And then obviously object orientation. These are all the zeros, which is great for me. So I can go 0.0, 0.0, and 0.0. NPC dummy, great. So this one here matches this one here. Great, perfect. I can now hit save and that is all done. I'm now able to come into my trader config file, and this is where, if I wanted to, if I scroll down to where we see my black market, my aircraft trader, our black market, obviously I've got a series of weapons. There's a couple I need to take out. I can now, if I want to, edit more items, hit save, and that is done. Next time that we see the server do a reset and a restart, we are going to have a new location using the DayZ editor and also the black market traders working. What I want to do though is, while we are here, it'd be rude of me not to go show off my server. Let's load it up. Been up for, like I said, been out for a couple of weeks now. Most of the time we're now hitting to medium pop around the evening. Obviously we have a few factions that have come over and started. We're looking for some more factions, which would be great. But obviously you guys can get involved, jump in Discord, give us a heads up, and then obviously we will give you guys a helping hand with getting started if you need to explain anything. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to end that video there and leave it as that, as just a little short tutorial of what we're trying to do. Go jump in our Discord. I need to type some new hints and tips up, because we're going to remove the logo and the icon that is showing in the game for this. But yeah, thanks very much for tuning in and watching the video, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.